Action!
5 movie directors who died in mysterious circumstances. Movie directors rely on their creative techniques to heighten the effect of cinematic deaths. So in movies, deaths can be quietly poignant, disturbingly violent, bloody gruesome, or tragically cold. In real life, these directors died in mysterious circumstances, which proved that if art reflects life, then reality also imitates art. Number 5. Helen Hill. 2 years after Hurricane Katrina ravaged New Orleans, the Crescent City was once again at the center of the news after a spate of murders rocked the city in 2007. On January 4th, 6 murders transpire, and one happened as early as 5:30 a.m.
Helen Hill gunned down in her North Rampart home by an intruder.
The hapless victim was 36-year-old filmmaker Helen Hill, who was shot dead in her home by an unknown intruder. Luckily, her husband survived 3 gunshots and their toddler was unharmed. As of 2018, no arrests have been made by the New Orleans Police Department, so the culprit remains scot-free, despite a $15,000 Crime Stoppers reward for any information leading to an indictment. Hill's case has received extensive tri-media coverage in America and Canada, but questions about who took her life and why still remain as mysteries. Hill was known for her experimental animation techniques and made dozens of films. Her final film, The Florentine Collection, was released in 2011, and she was praised for her work and legacy and was described as one of the most well-regarded experimental animators of her generation. Number 4. James Whale. Film enthusiasts would readily acknowledge that Hollywood's earliest father of horror was British film director James Whale, the brain behind such horror classics as 1931's Frankenstein, 1933's The Invisible Man,
I'll show you who I am and what I am.
and 1935's Bride of Frankenstein. Whale was also one of the few gay men of early Hollywood to be openly homosexual, living with his partner, producer David Lewis. Whale seemed to have everything, so it was such a bewilderment when on May 29, 1957, Whale's lifeless body was found lying face down at the bottom of the swimming pool at his Pacific Palisades home. For 20-plus years, fans of the cinematic genius wondered, was Whale the victim of foul play? It was an odd death, and all the more so because of Whale's lifelong hydrophobia. A bruise on the side of his head indicated that he'd apparently jumped into the shallow end of the pool head first and knocked himself unconscious. The mystery was solved 25 years later. Lewis revealed Whale's suicide note stating that he took his own life due to his agonies caused by deteriorating health. Number 3. Paolo Pasolini. The death of Italian film director, writer, and poet Paolo Pasolini on November 2, 1975 at a beach in Ostia, Rome, could have been one of the most brutal death scenes in the movies. He was run over several times by his own car, causing multiple broken bones. His testicles were crushed by what appeared to be a metal bar. An autopsy revealed that his body was partially burned with gasoline after his death. Then, 17-year-old Giuseppe Pelosi, a prostitute Pasolini allegedly picked up, was driving Pasolini's car, confessed to the murder, and was convicted in 1976. But he did a shocking retraction in May 2005, saying he had confessed due to the threats on his family. He claimed that 3 people with southern accents killed Pasolini, whom he insulted as a dirty communist, as the director was a former Communist Party member. Also uncovered in 2005 was evidence suggesting that Pasolini was murdered by an extortionist who stole some roles of his 1975 controversial film Salo, or The 120 Days of Sodom. The Rome police reopened the case after Pelosi's retraction, but the judges investigating the case found insufficient reason to justify a continued inquiry. Number 2. William Desmond Taylor. William Desmond Taylor became a popular figure during the silent movie era in Hollywood circa 1910 to early 1920. He acted in 27 silent films and directed 59. But on February 1, 1922, Taylor's flourishing career was curtailed when he was shot dead in the shoulder at his Los Angeles duplex. Police investigators ruled out robbery since the director's valuables remained intact and there was no forced entry. A list of suspects were drawn up, but 2 actresses entangled with Taylor's murder sent the media into a frenzy. Mabel Normand, who Taylor was dating during that time, and teenage actress Mary Miles Minter. Normand was rumored to be cocaine addicted, and allegedly, it was her drug dealers who shot Taylor when they found out he'd reported them to the feds. Minter supposedly endured an unrequited love for Taylor and committed a crime of passion. Minter's mother, Charlotte Shelby, was also a suspect as she was known to be enraged with 49-year-old Taylor's affair with her daughter. However, the evidence was insufficient to arrest someone, so Taylor's case remains unsolved despite the sensationalism it generated. Number 1. Thomas H. Ince. American silent filmmaker Thomas H. Ince, known as the father of the Western, made over 800 films and created the first movie studio called Inceville. But the mystery surrounding his death overshadowed his reputation as a pioneering filmmaker. In 1942, Ince negotiated a business deal with newspaper mogul William Randolph Hearst. In celebrating Ince's 44th birthday on November 19th, Hearst invited Ince aboard his lavish yacht. Among the other distinguished guests were Hearst's mistress, Marion Davies, silent film star Charlie Chaplin, and Dr. Daniel Carson Goodman. During the celebration, Ince suffered an acute bout of indigestion. Accompanied by Dr. Goodman, Ince went to the hospital for treatment, then traveled to his Los Angeles home where he died. The official cause of death was heart failure, as corroborated by witnesses including his wife Nell. But speculations that he was shot accidentally in the head by Hearst soon spread. Hearst allegedly mistook Ince for his real target, Charlie Chaplin, with whom his mistress was presumably having an affair. Despite Nell's and Hearst's denials, the mysterious story has lived on. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel for your daily fix of awesome infotainment.